Alright, here we are pulled up at the run-up area at Logan Cash Airport, and I'll be showing you how to run up the airplane and lean the airplane. I'm going to pull up my checklist here. I usually just use my iPad on for flight. It's great. It's got a comprehensive list checklist items I ported from my school, so I could just check things off on for flight, just go through the checklist. So make sure to have your checklist out. Very, very important. So first things first, make sure our parking brake is set. Fuel tank selector to our fullest tanks. I'm going to switch tanks. Fuel pressure, we pull up the engine page. Make sure it's all good. Flight controls free and correct. So left, right, back, and forward. Okay, make sure we're going to put all the way rich. So all the way rich up there. Then after, I'm going to pull my throttle to 2,000 RPM. Reducing throttle to 2,000. Doesn't have to be exactly 2,000, but approximately 2,000. So around there, we're gonna start. So let me just increase a little bit of more power. We're gonna hit the mixture assist button on the MFD right here, and that'll measure the EGT temperatures we want to lean for best power. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the mixture back until the RPM starts to increase, and once it drops, you want to stop moving the mixture handle and let that EGT stabilize. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the mixture back a little bit. See, it's at 1980, it's going up. 20, 30, 40. All right, there's that drop. I'm going to take my hands off the mixture handle. You can see the EGT temperature start to rise. We're going to let that stabilize for a little bit. It's kind of when it stops moving. Okay, there it is, and then we're going to move the mixture forward until that peak goes to about 100 degrees. May start measuring new cylinder, but I want that near 100 degrees peak. 60, 70, 80, 90, come on. There it is. So it's about 100 plus minus 10 is our tolerance for that peak. That should give you around best power. Best power for a climb. Okay, after our mixture is lean, we're going to test our propeller. What we're going to do, all we're going to do is cycle the propeller lever back and forward. What we're checking for is an RPM decrease, manifold increase, and an oil pressure decrease. We're also going to make sure no oil comes out of the propeller out in front. So use my prop hardware here. I'm going to pull it back until the sound changes. Then I'm going to push it back forward again. Here we go. RPM decrease, manifold increase is checked. All right, oil pressure decrease. Last but not least, looking outside. No oil coming out of the engine. That's our propeller RPM cycle test. And now on the checklist, we're going to do our Magneto check. So now let's bring our power back to about 2,000. A little bit more. And that'll do. Alright, 2030, we're going to test our left Magneto. So that's about 100 RPM drop. Our max is 175. Back to 2030. Back to the right, and then right, that's about 90. Okay, so we got 100 and we got 90, both less than 175. The difference between each other is 10 RPM. In our case, our maximum permissible difference is about 50 RPM. So Magneto tests are good. Now we're going to run through our circuit breakers, make sure they're all checked in. Alternate air pulled, make sure it doesn't affect the engine. Alternate air is coming off now, so nothing goes abnormal. And then we're going to smoothly move the throttle to idle position, all the way back. And once it's idle, you may get some enunciations that the alternator is not charging enough and low volts. Pretty much normal, since the engine's not charging the battery that fast. Alright, for that to check, we're going to move the throttle back to about 1,000. The sweet spot is... That's our run up.